Welcome back. San Jose, like other big cities, has seen an uptick in certain crimes as of late.
Yeah, residents have expressed concerns about their safety. Business owners are worried if they perhaps are going to be targeted next.
And we want to continue now our conversation with San Jose mayoral candidate Cindy Chavez. Crime, of course, a huge concern in the city of San Jose, as it is across the Bay Area here. And a big issue in the city of San Jose, staffing levels at the San Jose Police Department. The department has what many describe as dangerously low staffing levels right now, nowhere near where you should be when you compare San Jose to other similarly sized cities. I know you're pledging to hire dozens of new officers every year if you become mayor. What is your plan exactly, and how does it get funded? How do you pay for all those additional officers?
Yes, thank you for the question. So first of all, when I served on the San Jose City Council, it was the safest big city in America. And part of the reason for that is I served 16 years ago, and we had 201 more officers than we do today, and we have 100,000 more people. Our response times for priority 2 calls went from under 10 minutes to now almost 20. And a priority 2 call is if you are assaulted and the perpetrator isn't there anymore, if you have a missing child, 20 minutes is a long, long time. The city of San Jose, over the last 5 years, has spent $45 million a year on overtime, much of it mandatory. And what that means is that we could take a portion of that and put it into paying for officers. This year, the city only added 20 new officers with the idea of adding 15 new officers over the next 5 years. That will get us nowhere near where we need to be. And so what I'm recommending is we take a portion of that overtime money and start adding officers and 45 people a year so that we can catch up faster. And the thing we know is the #1 thing that stops crime is people seeing an officer.
But we also know that police presence, law enforcement is not the only solution.
You bet.
What are some of your other ideas for tackling crime?
Well, along with taking some of that overtime for police staffing, we need to make sure our libraries are open, our community centers are open, and that we have after-school activities, that children are supervised so they're not just left to their own devices while they're waiting for a parent to come home from school. And then the other thing we know is that clean cities are safe cities. So San Jose is a mess. It looks like it's a mess. And so what we know is that in many, many cities, when the cities are clean, it drops violent crime by 30%. So police staffing, making sure we have activities for young people, cleaning San Jose up, and then continuing to work with our communities so that we're doing the kind of work it takes to make sure that people are confident when they call the police. We have a couple of issues. Right now, I don't think people are calling 911 because they're not sure anybody's going to come.
Yeah, and that leads us back to the issue of staffing levels. Do you think, you talk about the $45 million being spent on overtime for police officers, is that going to be enough to pay for 45 more police officers every year? Or
It will.
Do you need to find money elsewhere?
No, it will. The first thing we need to do is stop raising taxes. We just have to settle down and focus on our basics. And the basics are what I just said: public safety, getting those libraries and community centers open, and getting San Jose cleaned up again.
All right, Cindy, we really appreciate you taking the time to join us. Important topics, an important decision coming up for San Jose voters. Thank you again.
Well, it was my delight, and I do want to say one last thing, and that is that 9 out of the 10 council members that are currently on the council have endorsed me. They've worked with both of us, but they know I'm going to get the work done. Thank you.
Appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, we certainly do. And remember that we are going to continue to follow the San Jose's mayor's race. As Alex mentioned earlier in the show, we have invited fellow mayoral candidate Matt Mahan to join us, and we will be having a conversation with him coming up next Wednesday right here on The 4.